Welcome to the Real Family Theory Podcast. It's DJ Double OG. We got Are You Serious? We got Dad in the building. How you fellas doing today?
Doing good.
Doing good.
Great. Well, today I wanted to start off, usually we start off with news nobody cares about. And I do have a couple of stories that I wanted to get into regards to news nobody cares about. But I thought it'd be more appropriate to start off with the George Floyd trial that's going on right now as we speak, literally.
They're on lunch.
Oh, they just went on lunch?
Yep.
Yeah, right before we came on, I was watching the young lady who took the video. She was on the stand. And the other dude that was standing there that was trying to tell the police to get off of George, and somebody was holding him back. I didn't even see. I realized just now that somebody was holding him back. So they both gave their testimony. Dad, have you watched the trial?
Yeah, I've been watching it on and on. Yeah.
So
the last witness was a 9-year-old girl, a little 9-year-old girl who said, they asked her, well, what did you see? She said, I saw the policeman with his foot on George Floyd's neck. And he said, so they asked, she said, did you ever see him take his knee off? She said, no. And they said, well, what happened at the end? He said, well, the paramedics came and had to force the police to get up off of him. And he was dead. So I don't know what the defense is going to do. I haven't heard too much from them at all during this trial. But what can they say? I mean, so their defense was that they were so afraid because of the crowd was getting violent and anxious. So that's why the prosecution brought a 9-year-old in who was there. So they're like, well, how violent could it be when a 9-year-old girl is sitting there watching, standing by.
Terrible.
And that's the video that they were showing from the body cam footage of the man holding the black man back. And they were trying to make it seem like he was holding him back from getting at the police. But if you really watch it, he was just holding him back from going in the street. Because if he'd have took a step in the street, the police would have killed him too. So he was really just holding him back, trying to save his life. But yeah, I didn't see the 9-year-old girl. I just watched the defense. They were really trying to trip up the young lady that took the video. And I said something about this too. George Floyd, we talked about it last week. He just settled for $27 million. And I wonder if the young lady that took the video footage of Derek Chauvin sitting on George's neck for 9 minutes was compensated. And I think maybe she should be compensated because without her, she's the main witness. Her video was the main evidence in trial.
No, they had video. They had video of the whole thing from a camera across the street. Was taking video of the whole thing.
Yeah, but they wouldn't have if she didn't post that video.
Right, she's the one that put it on blast.
Yeah,
but they had video
on Facebook.
They had video of the whole thing.
Yeah, but I'm saying though, they wouldn't even have looked at the other videos and I don't think it would even, I don't think they would even, if she wasn't videotaping right then and there, if nobody was videotaping George Floyd's death, I don't think it would have made the Channel 11 news that.
Oh no, we wouldn't have heard nothing about it.
I don't think it would have made the news. So that's why I mean, like, her impact on that video was so big.
But that's what the defense came against her. When she was on the stand, the defense said, hey, they would try to implicate that she was trying to make money off of the video or that she was getting paid for the video. That's why she took it. She didn't do it because she was interested. She was trying to make some, she was a video, media, what do you call it? Social media video person that likes to get, So she was just doing it to get on social media.
Gotcha.
So that was their only defense against the video.
Yeah,
so what?
The video is the video.
Yeah, that don't have anything to do with the video. What's she gonna do with it after it's taken?
It's not.
They're just mad that it got out there.
And you got multiple videos of showing the same exact footage, so it's not edited or anything like that. So.
And the thing is, did you watch the first witness? The first witness was the police dispatcher.
Yeah, I missed that one.
When they dispatched her, she said that she was, and that she had a camera. The camera was watching that was filming the thing the whole time. And so she got so concerned, she thought the camera had froze. So she was calling, talking about, well, you know, something's wrong. Is this camera frozen? Because they haven't moved off of his neck in all this time. Because she was going back and forth, she said, between taking calls and watching the video, going back and forth. She said she kept going back and forth. And then she would see it was still in the same place. She thought it was frozen. And so when she found out it wasn't frozen, she called the sergeant and said, I think there's something wrong going on over there. There's something wrong. There might be something, some kind of brutality going on because this has been going on too long. So she called the sergeant to report Derek Chauvin before, you know, anybody else did. She was the first one that said, hey, something's wrong with this, you know, because it looked like, you know, wasn't that moving until she saw people moving around him. Then she realized that it wasn't that was just them still stuck on his neck.
Yeah, that's pretty damaging when the 911 operator calls 911 on the police.
Yeah.
Because the way she's doing is wrong. I don't know how they cannot find him guilty. I mean, if they want to keep
all they're doing is waiting on one thing: what actually killed him. If they got a medical report that says that he died from drugs or something else, that's their only defense. That's the only thing they got.
Yeah,
that's a defense.
Yeah. They got the Hennepin County coroner said that he didn't have any asphyxiation, bruises in the muscle area, and that it was the drugs in the system that died. And then we got 2 or 3 other coroner reports that all say he died from asphyxiation.
Yeah.
So
well, that's why they had to add the 3rd-degree murder on there, because 3rd degree, you don't have to actually be the one that caused it, actual murder, caused the death, but what you did exaggerated the situation to cause his death. So by them, even if he was overdosing, they were laying on his neck. They didn't do anything to treat him from overdosing. If he was overdosing, they still had it on his neck instead of taking him to the hospital and getting treatment. But you know, the film footage that they have from the cameras, the sound that I heard, you know, some of the sounds was like they're yelling at him, telling him, you know, comply, get up, get in the car, comply, get up, get in the car. And he's like, I can't, you on my neck. How am I going to comply?
Get up.
Yeah, how am I going to comply? How am I going to get in the car when 3 of y'all, one on my neck, one on my back, one on my legs? So Derek Chauvin is the only one that got the most video, but if you see the other cameras, they show all 3 of them on him. Did not move for 9 minutes.
Yeah, they was crushing his pelvis in a hole now.
Yeah. So yeah, I don't know what the defense. I don't understand how it could be, but you know, the sad thing is that we as Black people in America, we can actually visualize them coming away with a not guilty verdict because of what we've been going through. Yeah, we've seen it so many times that we're looking that this would be a surprise if they did get a murder verdict. Now, when the Black policeman shot that white woman, and that trial went through so fast, I mean, you blinked and he was in prison.
Yeah,
you know. Yeah. And I'm like, I knew that he was going to jail. I'm like, he's going to jail.
He was Somalian.
Somalian.
You know, in this case, they called it Black. They didn't call him Somalian the whole time, though. They keep referring to him as a Black police officer.
Right.
They never saying he's Somalian.
He was Black. That's all they cared. His skin color was Black, and her skin color was white.
Right.
That was it. You going to jail.
That's exactly how they did it. But we seen it with Philando Castile too. You know, I thought with Philando Castile, he's on camera. There's no way that we watched this police officer pull out his gun and shoot this man in the front seat of his car in front of his daughter and his girl. and he was gonna get away. And
Yeah,
he
what
got a
happened in
not
that trial?
guilty,
Yeah, I was
not
about to say.
guilty.
That's why I'm just not. I'm not invest. I can't personally invest into the actual trial itself. I'll just wait for the results and see what it is. But I can't go through the up and downs of the conversations and all. Now I know for sure they got this. So because it doesn't legal and illegal doesn't have anything to do with ethics and what's right and what's wrong. So
Yeah, because
Yeah.
the defense, all they got to do is get one person, one juror to say, I don't think they proved the case. And that's it. That's a wrap.
All right.
Rodney King.
I was thinking about him too, man. Rodney King.
But see, the thing is, there are so many films of policemen killing black men on film, on camera, shooting them in the back, choking them to death. So that's why you can't say that it's impossible that they can't. We said that so many times, it's ridiculous that it's impossible. The only thing that was impossible was when OJ got off. That was impossible. They still talking about that. They still got movies. They still ain't over that one. They're like, how did we let this get by? But that's sad. It's sad because of as a black people that we have to think like that. We can't, we should not have to fathom this much inequality and injustice. We should be able to say, well, this is a cut and dry case. Yeah, they're going to get off and then see it happen. But we've said that so many times and not seen it happen that it's just sad.
All right, let's get into some more news. Some news that nobody cares about that we probably should care about is the CDC director says she's scared of a fourth surge of COVID-19 cases rising up.
Yeah.
Just as bad as the last one. She said it's going down. What are we gonna do with this COVID-19 thing? It's like even with the vaccine, it seems like the cases is just still rising and rising and rising.
Well,
that's because you got people not getting vaccinated.
Yeah, the cases have dropped for elderly people, for the demographic that has taken the vaccine. But everybody else, which is the majority of Americans, haven't been able to access the vaccine yet. So people are acting as if they already got the vaccine,
right?
And they haven't. So that's why you have my state, for example, that just kind of opened up softly, because our gym was only open 2-3 weeks after March, and now they just started to now they just reopened last week. So I mean, everything now they're just starting to do indoor dining last week. But before that, we didn't have anything except for 2 or 3 weeks out of the year, I think. So I mean, what's happening now is that because the vaccine is out, people are acting like they got the shot, but they didn't.
Yeah, but it was out for only a certain demographic of people.
And that's what I'm saying. Yeah.
So, well, now in Minnesota, I think today, they're opening up for 16 and over.
Okay.
What you mean 16 and over?
For anybody to age 16, for everybody, 16 and over. But that's going to be based on availability too,
right?
Which is based on who's giving the shots, which is based on who they're going to decide gets it first.
Right. So if you have a good doctor and a good health insurance, they'll slide you in and they'll get you in there first and things like that. But
they're all going to get their people in first.
Right.
Their friends, their family goes first, then you.
And that's why this vaccine is different than any other vaccine. This isn't like any other situation that we've had historically. So that's why it's all about context and taking things in the situation for situation. So what they did was they had influenza vaccines already in preparation. All they had to do was tweak it to make sure that it fit COVID-19. And that's how we got these vaccines so quickly. People just thinking they just started from scratch and in 6 months, that's not how the case. They've been doing this for years for influenza. And then once they were able to do that with the flu shots, then they were able to tweak those to make sure that they match with COVID. So there was no shortcuts taken. It's been the same process and the same engineering aspect. They just were able to use those same ones that they were in progression with, and they matched with the COVID-19. So that's how it usually works. But also the distribution and how and who and why is a completely different aspect. It doesn't benefit the government in this situation to harm a lot of people in that aspect or experiment for this vaccine because there's so much attention to it. People disregard the flu shot. I disregard the flu shot, right? So that you can mess around with, you can do a little something with, whatever the case may be. If you get sick, people, there's not as much attention to it. Everybody doesn't get it. It's not mandatory. No one really cared. But with the COVID-19 vaccine, it's a little bit different because of the focus. This isn't just the United States vaccine. This is the world vaccine. This is everybody vaccine. This is if you want to fly, and commerce and money is attached to this vaccine. So that's why this one's a lot different, not even a little. It's a lot different the way they set this one up compared to any other vaccine they've ever had. It's just not the same.
The distribution is a lot different too. I'll give you an example. I got from my HCMC transplant who did the transplant on my kidneys. Okay. The day that I became eligible for the vaccine, I got a letter from him the next day. I've never heard from my main doctor. I haven't heard from him yet. I haven't heard from, if Reggie hadn't sent me that link, we wouldn't have not heard from anybody on the other side. So it depends on who's distributing it or who's approving it and who's sending out the letters. You got to go get a letter inviting you to take the vaccine. And so that's what's slowing down a lot of people. Because me or Charlotte didn't get a letter from our doctors yet.
They're not distributing the information very well and very clear. They'll tell you all day about the case numbers and how many people are getting sick, but they're not telling you all day, this is the place you can go, this is the place you can check, make sure you check daily, put yourself on the checklist for this location. If your doctor didn't let you know, you can also check here, go here, or go here. So they're not doing those type of things. So that's why, and depending on the state, they're not being very responsible from the doctor's aspect, not from the state aspect, as in the state is trying to push out that information, but the media isn't pushing it out for them as much as they are the actual issues itself. So the state on their website, you go to the actual website, they got all the information you need. But it's hard to get that communicated when none of the other communication points are actually pushing the vaccine actual narrative itself. They're just pushing, they'll show you on the news, there's a line for the vaccine, or they'll show you that the president said that there's going to be, everybody should be able to get the vaccine by May 1st, but they're not giving you the information to say, hey, where can I go check to get it? For people in Minnesota, go to vaccineconnector.mn.gov. Or for California, go to myturn.ca.gov. For other states, just literally type in vaccine for my state and then type in your state. It's not that hard. Everybody can find everything else in the world. We can make sure that we push and try to find it if you really want it. It doesn't give you, because the issue with the doctor's office, for example, they only can tell you what they can do at that one location. But with the sites that I just said, it'll check everywhere.
Yeah, and it's anonymous.
Yeah.
They're not, because a lot of these doctor's offices, they're giving out vaccines. Like I said, it's going to be based on what they have available. And they're going to give it to their people first. They're going to call their friends that they know, their family, their members that are eligible first. They're going to make sure that they get theirs first. And then what's left, you have to wait around, until they decide that there's some for you. But the site that Reggie just talked about, this is an anonymous. So nobody is knowing who's friends or nothing. It doesn't based on that. It's based on an anonymous. They just start picking names out of the hat, and then throwing you in and saying, okay, here, if you don't reply right away, when they send you a text, then your name's off. Then you got to get back on the list again, because they don't play. Because I did that because I got the notification yesterday morning, and I didn't reply within 3 hours. 3 hours later, I went to reply and it was full. So I had to get back on the list. And then they sent me out another thing. And then I was like, okay, don't play. Get it right now.
Yeah, but sometimes
see,
even
those
then
are
they
all
have,
Johnson &
like, if you
Johnson.
literally just wait there, sometimes you might get lucky and they might have extras from that day from people not
Right.
showing up to their
People not
appointments.
showing up. Yeah.
So that's how you can get it before. So you literally have to just sit there and wait at some locations if you have the time and the ability. Most people don't. So, I mean, but yeah, it's an option.
I'm looking at my son. He's over there playing with the basketball. All right. In other news I wanted to talk about today. Now, this is really the news that nobody cares about section. I know you heard about this. Are you serious? I don't know if you heard about this. That Lil Nas X released some brand new shoes this week. Do you know who Lil Nas X is, Dan? Okay. So he's like a rapper. He made the song, what's the name of the song? Rodeo
Road.
and Old Town Road. So I like Rodeo. And he got another one too, Panini. That's my joint. So he got these songs, Panini.
I just figured
Old
by
Town
the
Road.
name that he had to be a rapper. You know, he got three different dimensions of a name: Little, and then Nas, and then X. Which one are you?
Right. Well,
are you Little? Are you a Nas or are you an X?
He's none of the above, because Nas or DMX would probably be upset. But Lil Nas X, though, he's a famous rapper, but he's also famous for coming out as the first openly gay rapper to make hits.
He really confused him.
Yeah. I was like, so wait.
Say that.
So hold on, dude. It gets better. It gets better.
Can't say you confused.
So Lil Nas X has released some shoes, and Nike is suing him right now because of his shoe release. Now, the shoes that he released are called Satan shoes. They're a remake of Nike Air Max 97s. He produced 666 of these shoes. They're red and black, and each shoe contains a drop of human blood in the sole of the shoe.
So where did he get all this blood from?
I don't know.
So somebody missing. One of his employees is missing.
They probably did like everybody else and jumped on one of them homeless people.
Yeah.
So he made it.
Somebody missing to make his shoes.
But I mean, you can ask somebody to donate some blood and they'll do it for $60. That ain't that tough. Let's be real.
If you naming them Satan shoes, you probably
so this is what it is, that Nike is suing him because he just bought 666 or some odd number of those shoes, and then he went with another company, and that company changed and customized the shoes to do that. So Nike was like, yo, we don't got no part of this. He bought the shoe, he bought the shoes regular and then changed them to that. And then my issue was that a lot of people had the audacity to be like, well, the only reason y'all saying this is because he's homosexual. Trust me, that's what the narrative they tried to push is that the only reason that they're hating on him is because he's gay. Now, then they bring up the fact
said some human bloods in there. That don't have no factor.
Check this out. So then they bring up situations like 3 6 Mafia or Bone Thugs and Harmony or things of that nature that reference the devil and Satan in that aspect of those type of things, right? DMX, Hell is Hot album or whatever the case may be, where he has blood all over him, right? So here's the difference. This is 2021. This ain't 1996. This ain't 2001. So the things that you did before, you can't get away with now. A lot of those albums that those rappers put out then, they could not put out now. If you listen to
the Police,
for example, if you listen to Up in Here by DMX, that song could not be released today. Just listen to the lyrics. Y'all gonna make me lose my mind. All he's doing is bashing gay people the entire song. Just go through the lyrics in your head right now. Aaron, go through the links in your head right now.
I did.
All he's doing is talking about gay people the whole time, but it's a #1 smash on the chart. So we can't use that as an excuse. And two, there's a difference between rapping a lyric and having a lyric about it in Satan, or literally having a shoe called the Satan shoe with human blood in it. And in the video, he is bent over in front of Satan.
No, that's something I have not seen yet. I've seen the shoes. I've seen the blood.
See a couple images. I didn't watch the whole video. I'm not watching that whole video. But
I
he's
heard
sitting
it
there
was
twerking
crazy.
on Satan. So it has nothing to do with homosexuality. It's about the whole Satan worship. And black folks don't mess with Ouija boards.
Let alone Satan
See,
shoes.
I would never buy a shoe called Satan. I don't even buy devil's food cakes because it got the name devil in it. I don't buy anything that say devil, Satan. I will not buy it. I don't care. I have never bought a devil's food cake. I ain't buying none of that stuff because it says devil. If it says devil, Satan, I'm done. I don't want to have no part of it. The Bible says give no place to the devil. And I believe that. I ain't giving him no place, especially in my belly.
That's funny. And you know what's bad is angel food cake is nasty.
But I would never buy a devil anything. No. The devil vacuum cleaners, I ain't buying none of them. I ain't I don't have the devil in my house.
You don't like none of them that Detroit Devils?
No.
What was that team?
Devil Rays.
Right.
None of y'all. From what I just heard, Satan is the least of the issues. I want to know where that blood's coming from. If there's actual human blood in each shoe, that right there, I'm like, wait. Where's that blood coming from?
That, yeah. Well, I mean, people is tripping about a stimulus check for $1,400. Trust me, you can get some blood from somebody easily donated. That's not that difficult. You can get you give somebody $200-300, they can give you 10 pints of blood and they be woozy, but you be all right. And he got enough blood for all the little, still a little drop.
We used to that's the lick though. Donate blood and plasma.
That's what I'm saying. So that's not even a, but it's not.
Is that one that looked like a cowboy?
Yeah.
Yes.
First black country singer or something like that. Not the first. The country rapper.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I heard of him before. I seen him. I don't know. It ain't surprising to me that he's gay because I looked at him. That's a whole other issue. But
yeah. So he's a roller. So what he does is he just does stuff for attention. But now he's still trying to laugh it off, but Nike is legitimately suing him.
No, they don't get their money.
So he can try to laugh it off all he wants, but he's still getting sued.
And plus, ain't nothing funny about playing like that anyway. You know
what I'm saying? I mean, it is if you don't believe in it.
That's some weirdo stuff. All right. In other news, well, that's it. Let's get out of the news section, right? Because we got stuff to do today. Let's talk about our subject of the day. You know, each and every week, Real Family Therapy Podcast, we like to discuss at least one subject and delve deep into it. And this week, we want to discuss something that we were supposed to discuss last week, but we got into church last week. So this week, we want to discuss friendship. And as we see, Are You Serious got his background.
My boys.
Dad got his background. And these my friends back here. Yeah, so I want to talk about friends and just having friends relationship and as an adult looking back on friendships growing up and how they evolved and how they changed, because a lot of times that's something that we really don't think about.
Yeah.
But our friends are an important factor in shaping the way that we live our everyday lives. Yeah. And not having friends is an important factor on shaping the way that we live in our lives, you know. So I just wanted to get into that topic. I guess, when is the first time that you met somebody that you could remember and you was like, man, that's my homie, that's my friend, you know? Like, I know school was probably the first time that I don't know that you can remember making friends, but Let me ask you, Dad, because it's been a little longer for you.
Well, my first friend was actually my cousin. So they were relatives, because that was
Okay.
all that we knew. As when we grew up, back in the 60s, early 60s, we were all growing up together. So the families, were, so, Dwight's family, John's family, Junie's family, all of us grew up together. So we all hung out together. So we were our own friends. We didn't have any outside friends other than just the family. So, but what I realized about picking my friends was it was usually based on them doing something to protect me. That's how they became my friends. Like Dwight, I thought I was tough when I was in elementary school. When I was in second grade, I thought I was tough. And so what I would do was there was this bully that was bullying everybody in the school. So, I thought I was tough too. So I confronted him and told him, was telling him off, and started getting in a fight with him, and he was on top of me kicking my butt. And then Dwight came up behind me and just hit him in the back, got him up off of me. Ever since that, we was tight. I'm like, I'm taking him you gonna go everywhere with me, because he was my friend. So that was my first instance of a friend. But then my everlasting friend after that was Daryl White. When he first came to Minnesota, we went to Marshall Junior High, and we was in like seventh grade, I think. And so we had this teacher that was always picking on people. He would front you up in class and talk about you, get in your face. And so he was all up in my face, and I was a little crybaby back then, and I'm all crying, and then Daryl jumped up and started telling him off, saying, "Get out of his face! Why are you gonna go do this, do that, and that?" And I'm like, "Who is he?" And ever since then, we've been like that. That's been since 1968, 67. We've been friends ever since then. And that's my only friend after that. I haven't had any. I mean, we hung out with a whole lot of people back then, but that was my only friend. And the reason why I can say he's a friend, is that we didn't have to always agree, and we didn't have to always be together. There was spaces in time where we didn't hang out at all for years. And that's because he was doing his thing and I was doing my thing, and they didn't mix. And so, I was like, okay, you got to go your way. I got to go my way, I got married and had, kids, and stopped doing a lot of the stuff that he was doing. And so we went separate directions, but we never broke that chain of friendship. And so till today, he's still friends. We're still, the only friends that we got, basically. He'll tell you, so we're more than friends. That's why I got that's his family in my background. They became my family.
That sounds familiar.
Their brothers, his brothers and sisters who became, like my brother. I mean, I was part of their family. They was part of my family. He was part of my family. So that's how friends usually become family, become a brother. So just like a regular family, you don't have to be with them all the time, but they're still your brother, regardless of where they're at, regardless of what they're doing. You might not agree, you might not want to do it, but they're still your family. So that's how I met Daryl. That's how we became friends, because I was like, even though I was bigger than everybody, I was like, I need somebody to talk for me, So I didn't do a lot of talking, but Daryl was good at talking, so we was good together. We went through a lot together. I mean, all the way through.
I don't know if legally you can say everything, but
most of it ain't legal. But we went through a lot. Junior high, high school. We both got kicked out of high school together. Spent a year out of high school. And, then I decided, okay, I got to go back to school. And he went his way, and I went my way. So for a while there. So, but we were still friends, still brothers.
That's dope.
Long time. Reggie, what about you?
My first friend is you, brother.
Hey, I was still say the same thing.
We ride or die.
I was thinking the same thing. Like,
we ride or die.
Yeah.
Like me and you, we especially on the roar. Oh, we fight with each other, but let them down the street mess with us, and we right there fighting together side by side, and then play with them again the next week. But I mean, we only a year and a half apart, so I mean, it's a little bit different than most people. So we close. We shared the same bed till we was till I was 10 years old.
10 and 12,
yeah.
10 and 12,
till we moved out. So literally, it was me and you all the way. I mean, I had a couple little friends here and there in school, like in Expo, but until I was 10, it was me and you every day, ride or die. And even then, after that, you know, like
still friends.
We're still. That's why I say, like, for you, I mean, we cool. Like, it's not like, I mean, obviously we had our kids, we have a little tit for tat, but after a certain point in time, I ain't never had no issues with you. And we was always cool. And like I said, like even in junior high and high school and stuff like that, I was just happy to ride along. Put me in the back, in the trunk of the Blazer, and I'm cool. I'm not gonna say nothing. I'm not gonna mess with nobody. I'm gonna wear my sweater vest with no shirt underneath and mind my business.
The blue one. Hey, wasn't that a blue sweater vest?
I don't know. I think it was black. It was white and black.
It was black and blue.
Yeah. But other than that,
I would say the same thing though.
But yeah, it was like me and you we was locked in. You helped me out when homeboy jumped me at the bus stop talking crap and hit me with a low blow to the stomach, and you was right there.
I don't remember that. What happened?
It was junior high, and that one big white dude, I don't know what, he was talking mess to me and I was talking it back, and then he popped me in the stomach, and then you stepped in right before we got on the bus, and then we got on the bus. So I mean, it was cool, but he was a bigger dude. But I forgot what it was. But he said something to me that was crazy.
I do remember somebody punching.
And I said something to him that was crazy back, and he hit me out of nowhere. And then you came in, and then we got back on the bus.
Yeah, I do remember somebody hit you and stuff because I remember.
I mean, even the stuff we had to ride against with them white racist dudes around the corner, around the street, all the time. You on TV in junior high. Talking crazy. This dude on the television, like the TV news, talking about, I ain't afraid of you, and if you want it, come get it, and I wish you would.
I didn't say that.
You would say you got kicked off. You got kicked off.
I think I got kicked off because I told them they was calling me the N-word.
Yeah, you got kicked off.
They keep calling me nigger.
You and me and
but you. I started it though. That was what I was mad about. I created the whole program. I created the whole video. Yep. I edited it. I made the program.
This ain't nothing new to you.
I did the whole thing.
You're supposed to be doing this stuff. Even in high school, you did the morning announcements.
The morning news in school, yeah.
Even high school, you did the morning announcements. Even when you tried to play your music and they was hating on you. Yeah. That was the only time I was vibing. But yeah, me and you.
Yeah. So
once again, we shared a locker in high school. My sophomore year, my first year, because it was only 10, 11, and 12, I shared a locker with you and Brian. I didn't even know where my locker was. I had no clue where my locker was. I just used yours. So we've always been cool. We've always been tight. So like you have been my representation of my best friend since the beginning. And then I met these knuckleheads, Dwight, Dez, and Lil Chris, when we and you went to camp.
Yep, we went to
Camp Voyager.
Camp Voyager.
It was $40 a week, and Mom wanted us to go. And for a full week of camp for a kid, it was $40, and half the kids there didn't even pay. But it was through Boys and Girls Club, and that's where I met these three.
Mom didn't want you to go. Dad wanted y'all to go. That was $40. I didn't have to buy no food. That was like the most relief we had in a while. I didn't have to buy no food for y'all for a whole week. That was worth $40.
It was just, and honestly, man, like me,
it was probably the best thing.
it was weird. It's the weirdest thing in the world because we just connected. We just clicked. And it was me and Dwight and Dez. We couldn't be stopped. And then Lil Chris came here and there, but he was younger, so that's why we call him Lil Chris, because of camp. He was a little cousin that got scared to be alone away from his parents. So, he was 7 years old. He was 8 years old, 7 years old. So obviously he was a little bit scareder than the older cousin. So yeah, but since 10, I've been rocking with them. And then Seneca, he started cutting my hair because Dwight was he was dating Linda, which is Dwight's sister. So Sin's been cutting my hair ever since I was 14, 15. So these people have been in my life since I was 10 years old. And me and Dez have never gotten to one argument, which is crazy. And I've known him for over 28 years.
Since you was 10 years old.
We have never gotten to an argument, never gotten to a fight, never had like we can't talk no more for a little bit. I need my space. Nothing. Not one time. And like these three right here, once again, we all know they family. And like that's why I said it's funny. This is it. This is my friends right here. That's it. I don't mess with nobody else.
Yeah.
I don't mess with nobody else but these people in this picture. That's it. That's it. And like Dad said, once again, they become family. So for the holidays, I would go to their house after we did our thing for Christmas. I would go to theirs. You know what I'm trying to say? So I'd be doing different things to make sure that everybody was all together and all connected. And I just feel like it was a good thing. And Mom always said with me and Dez, specifically, is like we're best friends because I see something in him and he sees something in me that we both admire. You know what I'm saying? So there's an admiration for the both of us. It's not like one person is following the other. It's an even type of thing. And we was always riding. We lived together. We never had any issues. Like every time he moved in the Army, I got to go down and help him drive to whatever new location he's at. But yeah, we've been tight. I mean, ever since. All three of them had a key to my apartment. Like, it's just, if I didn't get home early enough, then somebody had my bed and I sleep on the couch. Like, I didn't care. Like, that's how it went. It was that easy. Like, yeah. It wasn't even an issue. Even when you had your apartment, I'd be sneaking over your house. But I mean, it's like with them friends, it's like with them specifically, like it's different. Like with Seneca, especially because, you know, like Dez, he went to the Army and Lil Chris and Dwight was doing their thing or whatever the case may be. With Sin, even. I love that dude to death because I would just go to the barbershop. I didn't even need a haircut. It's not like I needed a haircut. I would just go to hang out with him. He'd usually be like, yo, you want to go get something to eat? I get something to eat. After he got done cutting for the day, we go hang out or do whatever. Like that man right there, you know, it's not even the fact of he's my barber, that's family. So like for all these people in this picture, like this is my family, and it's a different type of feeling. It's like I don't, you know, like their moms call me their mom. I mean, their son, and I call them mom. I don't call their Mrs. Jenkins and Miss Overton or Mr. Overton. I call them dad or mom. Like that's how it is. And mom calls them sons. Like, how's my son Dez doing? Like it's how's my boy? Now, you know, like it's not even to the point where it's confusion. And that's how I like it. Like it gives me a different view of family, of not just being blood itself, but more than blood. And like for them, it's always going to be a connection. It's always going to be love, no matter what goes on, no matter what happens. We can go through our ups and downs, or we can have our battles or whatever, fist fights or who knows what. But no matter what, we always going to come back. And that's what Dad said. We can go through a section where we aren't on the same page and we doing different things. Like me and Dwight had a season where we were doing different things, but that didn't mean in any way, shape, or form that I was going to disrespect him or talk crazy about him or say that he's not my family and I don't love him to death, because that would be lie. That would be a lie. We just wasn't doing the same thing. That's literally it.
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't like I didn't like him. It's not like we didn't love each other. We just was doing different things. So eventually when you get to a point, and everybody has that point when they get older, especially when you're 10 years old, and that's when you meet somebody, like you go through a situation where you evolve. So there was a point where Dez was doing his own thing. And then we came back or whatever, and it was like nothing ever happened because, you know, and especially even now, like he's been in the Army for the last 20 years. He ain't been home. He was home for, I think, a 3 or 4 year span within those 20 years. And that was it. That was it.
Yeah,
So
he's been
since he was
moving.
17 years old, 18 years old, he's been out. So I mean, it's like that connection doesn't go nowhere. Lil Chris, I mean, and they're all he's a police officer for St. Paul. He's in the army. He works for the government. He's a barber. Like, it's a totally, I'm a consultant. I do computer number stuff. Like, it's not like I hang around with bums either.
No, man, that's what's great. Like, y'all friendship
Yeah.
coming from where y'all grew up and just seeing y'all all grow up as successful black men
All of us.
is beautiful. And you and Dez's relationship is just something special. The relationship that you got with Dez is just amazing, because a lot of people don't have a friend like that that'll be in your life for so long and so real that you never have an argument with. Like, I had one person in my life, two people maybe, I think, that I've known my whole life and never argued with. Sadari, I don't think me and Sadari ever had an argument. That's probably my best friend. That's somebody who I've been knowing since I was 12, just like them. Like them. We went to school together, 7th grade. So I've been knowing Sadari since I was 12 years old. That's my best friend. I probably never had an argument with her. I don't talk to her at all. I think maybe I talked to her once in the last 2 months. But that's still my dog.
Yeah, but things change. I mean,
that's still my best friend. Yeah,
you're not 16, 17 years old and I don't go weeks without talking
hang
to
out.
Yeah, but it's not like I'm like, so you ain't called me yesterday.
No,
like that's
not a real friend.
That's weird.
Yeah, like,
that's very weird.
She got a husband and 3 kids. Like, they living their life. She work a full-time job. I got a wife and 4 kids.
Yes.
So having the definition of a friend, like somebody that you know that'll always be there for you.
Yeah, because best friend don't mean you talk every day, all day. Because the person you talk to every day, all day, probably get on your nerves every day, all day.
Yeah.
For real.
Well, as you get older, like my age, I'm in my 60s now. I realize, who to value and who not to value. And so, now our friendship is probably a lot deeper now than it was back then, because we realized that, we got each other.
I never trusted big crews anyways, though. Like, when there was a whole bunch of like 15, 20 people, like, for me, it's too much going on. There's too much snakes in the grass. Like, even with Dez, for example, you see this picture of us going out?
Yeah.
This is about the max that Dez was comfortable with. Outside of this, it's too many people. And when we used to go out, it'd be a lot of people sometimes, depending on the situation. But this was the core. Like, at least these 3. I mean, just me, Dwight, and Dez for sure. And then these 3, they would come in there. Sin would come here and there when he could. He's obviously a little bit older than us, but still, like, when these 2, it was just
Dwight, Dez,
me, Dwight, and Dez all day, every day. Let's go play hoops at the YMCA. Me and Dwight going to the Burnsville Center and hooping it up, or whatever the case may be. You know what I'm trying to say? Us going to the Mall of America. First, we gonna stop at the Chinese food spot and get some teriyaki chicken, and then go up to the 4th floor to the movie theater and watch the movie while we eat our teriyaki chicken with extra sauce and sauce on the rice. Like, that's what we used to do. We wasn't doing nothing crazy. We wasn't out here acting goofy. We go to the little 16+ club and whatever the case may be, but that was about it.
So, looking back on it now, when you're younger, your definition of friendship is a lot different than it is now, right? So what I mean by that is, like, you had a lot more friends when you were young, like 16, 17.
Nope.
Yes, you had
I had the same crew.
No.
The only other person was Dan.
Yeah, you right.
That's it.
You always had the same friends.
That's it. I wasn't messing around with a whole bunch of people.
Yeah, we hung out. Well, me and Daryl had a lot of other friends.
Yeah,
so we hung out with a whole lot of other people.
Yes,
we hung out with every day, or, depends on where we were at. But we always knew who was number one. We always knew.
Randoms here or there.
Yeah. But they would come and go, in and out, whatever. But, I could go to his house whether he's there or not. He can come to my house whether I was there or not.
Yeah.
You know, so it was
Stop by
like,
mom's and get something to eat. Yeah.
so it don't matter. It was just we was, you know, I helped him move so many times. It was you know, it was almost like every other month we was moving somewhere.
Mhm.
But you know, we just knew who we were. And he knew, and I knew that he was. I knew if Daryl was there, my back is covered.
Yeah.
You know, I
Like
just
with-
knew it. I
Yeah,
didn't
like
have to
with
worry
Dwight.
about nothing.
With Dwight, he had we had like from Burnsville, obviously from because we went to totally different schools. It was Chuck and Melvin, and them two was solid. And you know, I'm trying to say, and I would rock with them to the day I die as well. Like even when Mel went to the workhouse, where you know, I'm trying to say, I was the only. You know me. If I know you in jail and I can get there, I'm gonna come visit you because I know how it can be. So Mel, he had gotten to some issues or whatever the case may be, which got discarded or whatever. But I made sure I went to go visit him because it was in a distance where I can go visit him. Like I'm the type of dude that if I got your back, I got your back. I'm not gonna sit here in front. So if you in a messed up situation and I need to come visit you or whatever the case may be, you short on the bill. If this dude gets too drunk at the bar and he can't find his card, I'll just swipe mine and call it a day. If he pays me back, if he pays me back. If he don't, he don't. Like I don't. It doesn't really matter to me. You know how many friendships I see where people is like, well, I don't know, you might not like that, you might. Yo, we got a saying: you like it, I love it. I'm not messing with that girl, but if you call her dream, guess what? She's a dream come true to us. And that's just how it rolls. If we see something bad, though, if we see something crazy, I'm gonna check you because we love each other. Like that ain't the move. So we're not yes men either. And like I don't understand a lot of these friendships where you can't just express how you feel and they don't just receive you for who you are. Like I don't have the same expectation for Little Chris as I do for Dez as I do for Dwight. They're three individuals. So I approach them three different ways. And I handle them three different ways. I talk to them three different ways. We have three different relationships. Like, and a lot of times with some people, they just expect the same thing from everybody that they know, the same thing from all of their friends. And I find it stupid because you're just going to get yourself hurt. And then you're going to be sitting there acting like they're not a friend when they were exactly who they were. You messing with the same person for the last 20 years and you still acting surprised about some stuff? Really? Word? You didn't know not to leave your wallet around Ray Ray? Really? Word? You know Ray Ray ain't got it.
Right. That's good to hear, man. You know, just from the outside looking in, your relationship with your friends is probably it's the stuff you see in movies. What's that movie name? The Best Man?
The Best Man of the Wood.
The Best Man of the Wood. Yeah, that's the type of relationship you got with your homies.
I can tell them I love you. We tell each other we love you. Like, I don't know why a man can't tell another man, hey, man, I love you, and I want to make sure you're okay. Nothing. That's what you're supposed to do.
Well, we do that now, me and Daryl. We didn't do that earlier.
We've always done
now that we're older and, you know, we can say that out loud. You know, back in the day, it was like, yeah, all right, I see you.
All right, bro.
I have no problem hitting up Dwight right now and being like, yo, man, I was thinking about you. I love you, and I want to make sure you're okay. That's it.
That's sweet. That's sweet.
Well, see, me and Daryl, my birthdays, we never spent together. We never spent my birthdays together because my birthdays I always spent with Junie and Danny because Danny's birthday was the 9th and Junie's birthday was the 8th, but he was a year younger than me. So we all spent our birthday together. So there was like a bond. You know, wherever we was at, we always connected on our birthday and spent that whole day together and that whole night for 2 days. You know, wherever we was at, we was zoned out for 2 days together. But I always spent Daryl's birthday, you know, I was connected with him on his birthday because his birthday and Charlotte's birthday is the same day. They both are born on the 13th. So I don't know how that happened, but you know, so the 13th is an important day for her. So we always hook up. Mainly him and Charlotte, you know, they always make sure that they hook up together on the birthday because they got the same day. So I always,
Right.
but he's, you know, I don't even know if he know when my birthday was. Still today. I'm serious, because I always disappeared. You know, I never was around him on my birthday because I spent that with my family, with Dwight and Jimmy. We did some wild, I mean, yeah, one day, y'all, one day.
I mean, well, that's the point
I'll
of
give
this
you
episode.
I'll give y'all one story.
I'm about to say, we
Hey,
38,
I
45.
just want to say, rest in peace to Uncle Danny too. His son got a podcast. Him and Tracy, his son Maurice and Tracy
Yeah, he
got a
just hit me up.
podcast, and I checked it out. So I want to
He
shout
just
out their
moved down here
podcast.
to California.
Yeah, he live in
Maurice.
California right now.
So yeah, we're gonna try to cook
So
up.
shout out to Maurice.
Yeah, but see, Danny back in the day, you know, Danny was the coolest one. He was the playboy of the group. So we was spending our birthday together on my birthday, and I think we had some acid or something. We was taking some acid, and so Danny met this girl. He had just met her that morning, and so he met this girl, and she had her own apartment. You know, we was all teenagers, but she was a grown woman. She was in her 20s. And so Danny had her apartment. So we was all getting blasted. And so Danny's like, well, let's go hang out at her house. She was at work. And we broke into this woman's house, climbed through the window, and was hanging out at her house mostly all day. He just met this woman. And we hanging out at her house all day and we was all sitting there getting tripping and stuff. So we put this record on, and the record was Stevie Wonder,
Superstition. See, yep. See, I knew it.
And so the record was playing, and then the record started skipping. You know, it got to the part where it says, "The devil's on his way," and they kept saying, "The devil, the devil, the devil."
Uh-oh.
Man, we got out of that house so fast. We started looking at each other and we started tripping like, what is that record saying that? The devil.
All back.
The devil. The devil.
That's why Dad don't mess with the devil now.
Yeah, I'm like, we was out of that house, but that was just one of our birthdays together.
So did she ever know that y'all was in the crib?
Yeah. She cussed Danny out.
Oh.
Told him off, said she never want to see him again. I'm surprised she didn't call the police, but we didn't steal nothing. We was just in there hanging out. But, yeah, that's just one of our birthday stories. But all of our birthday stories are pretty much like that. And we're doing some wild stuff.
Well, I guess I'll give y'all one. I'll give y'all one story since I'm the saint.
Yes, you are the
one story. So one
saint.
time, me and Dwight decided to skip school to hang out with his girlfriend. And I don't know if she was my girlfriend at the time or if I was just talking to her to try to, because they were friends, right? So we skip school and we go and I'm driving, obviously. So I pick Dwight up and the two girls, and then we go back to his crib to just hang out. So we just hanging out, chilling, and Mama Simone, rest in peace, Dwight's mom had came home early. So you hear the garage door open. So we scrambling. He was like, oh man. So Dwight, he hides the two girls in his closet, right? But one of them left her purse on the couch. So Mom's comes in and we didn't even notice the purse or whatever it was that was on the couch. So Mom's comes in and she's looking around and she's like, y'all here early? I was like, yeah, I got off school early. I was like, yeah, I got off of school early, so I just came over or whatever the case may be, because school was out by then. So it wasn't like she caught us when we were skipping school or whatever. But she peeps the purse on the couch. Now, Mom's, what she usually does is she comes right in and goes to her room. She might hit the kitchen for a little bit and then goes right to her room and she don't come out. But as soon as she saw that purse today, she decided to sit in the couch and watch television all day. She said, I'm not moving.
Because she was like, whose purse is that? And Dwight was like, Reggie had gave a ride to some girl from our school, and we didn't want to leave the purse in the car, so we just brought it in. So Dwight had came up with the slick off the top lie, like, yo, it was just some girl, we gave a ride, she left it in the car, Reggie's car. You know how that is, because I stayed with a hoopty back then. So he was like, we didn't want it to get stolen or broken into, so we just brought it in the house. He's like, oh, okay. So she looking around, went downstairs, looked inside the room, but she didn't open the closet. So we just sitting there panicking, like, what we gonna do? So we said, listen. Dwight was like, listen, y'all gotta jump out this window.
Hold on, you sent them out the window too?
So Dwight did. I didn't. So he took the screen off the window, right? And then literally had the girl shimmy outside. So he went outside real quick. He said, yo, I gotta grab something out the car. He went outside, helped them down off the roof, because he was on the second floor, because it was a townhouse. So it was a house and then the garage with the roof or whatever. So it slid down. So it wasn't a just straight drop.
Okay.
So he slid them down, and then they got into the car. He had to hide the screen on the side of the house because he couldn't bring it back up right then. And he had to hide the screen on the side of the house. So then they get in the car, and then they have to sit on the side of they get by the car, but they have to sit on the side of the house for like an hour because we couldn't just leave because moms would know something was up. So she was like, well, dinner's ready, so y'all can go eat right now then. So she's trying to prolong us going anywhere. So she's eating, so we eating, she's dragging it on. So they already mad outside, blowing the phones up. Like, can we go now? And then we finally leave. But the problem is that when we get back, somebody stole the screen. Somebody stole the screen from the side of the house. So mom, I don't know. I don't know who stole that screen, but somebody stole the screen for the window. So we just sitting there like, yo, who would steal a screen? What would you do with a screen? So moms knew because the screen was gone from that day since. And she was like, something up. I couldn't blame you. I couldn't pick it, but something wasn't right. So that was my.
She might have stole the screen though.
I think she might have, but no, because it never got back, and she wasn't gonna do that to her own house.
So did she ever find out?
We told her later.
Oh, okay.
We told her later on, but we didn't get in trouble then. By the time we told her, we was already older.
Well, you and Bernita got some stories. I ain't got none of them kind of stories.
Well, that was more,
I ain't never had this.
I'll take the blame, even though because I'm not gonna throw my mans under the bus, so I'll take the blame. Yeah. I'll never throw my mans under the bus. So that was all me. I'll take it. I'll take the.
Y'all lucky. Well, me and friends is I ain't got none of this story.
Yeah, you do.
I ain't never snuck with nobody else.
Yeah, but you got some other stories. It ain't got to be about sneaking.
We gonna get into that. My friends that I picked were the wrong friends.
Delinquents.
I'm the example of how to pick the wrong type of friends. Even though at the time I thought all of my friends was good friends, but it's like different reasons why I don't have no friends right now. From different, sometimes sometimes you make it think it was you, right? So sometimes I think maybe it was me. Maybe I'm the problem. Maybe why I don't have no friends.
Your friends didn't coincide with who you were.
Yeah, and,
so that's
and
why
the stuff that we were doing, I gotta kind of distance.
Because
the reason why I don't have
who you were.
The real reason I think right now. Oh, I'll tell y'all the story why I don't have friends. And I think y'all might know this story.
20 minutes later.
Long story short, me and him get into an argument. He told me he was gonna kill me. And I told him, well, I'm gonna kill you first if you ever see me. And I can't be friends with anybody who would ever tell me they was gonna kill me. I don't care how mad they is. If you ever tell me you're gonna kill me, we can't be friends ever again.
Yeah, that might be an indication. I don't know.
Especially
just a small one. I mean, that ain't the first situation that might have thrown a red flag up, but we'll skip all the 800 other situations. Yeah. But yeah.
So
I mean, that
and
was the
then,
catalyst.
well, you know, and then you know that, you know, me and him both are really about that. So he would really do that, and I would really do that to him, and have done that before. And we know he's a killer, so it was just like, okay, at this point, we need to just not be friends no more and chill out. And so because of that, now I stopped messing with all of my friends because just like you said, that you and Daryl was best friends, but y'all hung out with a lot of other people. So me and
Associated.
Daryl, me and Fat Boy was best friends, but we hung out with a lot of other people. But because I can't trust him, I can't trust none of them. You understand what I'm saying? So for my own personal safety and for their safety, I don't want to be involved with none of y'all. I just be with me and my kids and my wife. And you know what I'm saying? We'll just do our thing. And then y'all stay over there and y'all do your thing. Because now this was years later. And then I know earlier we talked and we said you and Dez never argued. Well, me and my wife is like really my best friend. And her brothers and their family is my family. So her brother is my brother. Her sisters are like my sisters. I've been with her since I was 20. I'm 39. So I've been knowing her family her whole life. So when I say Isabel's like my little sister, that's my little sister. I've been knowing her since she was 12. And her little brother, I've been knowing him since he was 13, 14 years old, right? So Dwayne is the only other person that I've known for that long and never had an argument with. Me and Dwayne would kick it all the time.
Yeah.
And I've never, me and him never, even if me and his sister
That
got
dude was
into
funny
it,
though.
me and his sister could fight. Me and Trisha will fight today, and Dwayne will have my back. Me and him could get into, we can have a disagreement, but we never had an argument.
What was that house they used to stay off of? Where I used to come visit.
Was it on Western?
Yeah,
it was probably on Western.
On Western.
On Western. Yeah.
Yeah. That's the only
Western
time I used
Thomas.
to. Yeah, Dwayne was cool because he used to always. Yeah, he was just cool.
Wild boy, but yeah.
Yeah, but he was
Dwayne,
cool
that
with
was
me.
my dude.
He ain't never he ain't never had no issues with me. And I was a dorky dork.
He was the realest. And he was a real person. He accepted you for who you was.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I was a dorky dork, and he was cool with me.
Even Prince. Matter of fact, he the only other person I ever let take Prince anywhere. And I wasn't there, other than my mom and dad. He the only person ever took Prince away. So, like, and I lost him. His best friend murdered him 2 years ago. Dwayne, his best friend murdered him. So when you in these streets, it's serious. And it's just a lesson to anybody out there in the streets. If you in there, get out. Because the same people that you taking pictures with, like, see, if this was the streets, the same people that are in Reggie's picture, half of them would be dead.
Off. Yeah.
Other ones would be in jail, and you be beefing with the other one. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's what the streets do to your friendship.
Mm-hmm.
It kill your friends, or it'll make you kill your friends, or your friends try to kill you. And yeah, so that's why I really ain't got no friends right now, to be honest with you.
Yeah, you can't make friends out of the streets.
No, you can't.
You can make them out of camp.
Yeah.
Out of camp, yeah.
Get them out of camp. Usually you make your friends when you're young.
Or in school.
Or college.
Yeah. So, you know, by the time you get older, everybody got their own ideals. So you can't really trust too many people.
Right.
And that's it.
You can't trust anybody, really. But you can have friends with one eye open and one eye closed, but you can never have friends that you can close both eyes.
Yeah, and that's why Aaron was saying, like, I'm lucky I can close all my eyes with all of these dudes, and I'm cool.
I trust your friends with my life. I would trust Dez with my life. That's how much of a real person he is.
I trust him with my life, Lil Chris, Dez, and Dwight. Yeah, I do. I trust them all with my life.
You got something.
That's the same way. Like, I know if Daryl's somewhere where y'all's at, then I know y'all's taken care of.
Yeah.
Because I know he's gonna watch out for you.
Mm-hmm.
And that's my godfather. We better.
Yeah. So.
Yeah, I mean it's a wild. Like I see a lot of friendships, and I do appreciate I do appreciate what I do have, and that's why I said I don't have an issue telling them I love them. I don't have an issue telling them, like, yo, man, I miss hanging out with y'all. Y'all my brothers.
Y'all my family, y'all my cousins. Like we just say cousins. Like it's not even. Once again, I'm not related to anybody in this picture, but we call each other cousins. They're all related, literally. So they're all first cousins. Me, I'm not. So I mean, it's like I'm the one that literally. But Thanksgiving, I'm there. Christmas, where's Reg? Holidays, 4th of July, where's Reggie at? So it's like I don't take it for granted. Now I don't need a whole bunch of people either, because I also have seen a lot of situations where people will have a whole bunch of friends, but but they all don't like each other. You talk to one individually, and she be getting on my nerves, or he be getting on my nerves. Like it's not as tight as it looks. So they may be friends, but half the time, half of them get on each other's nerve. They don't like each other. They be side talking. They be hating. And that's why I said it's. I don't understand how you can say that that's your tight friend for years and years, and not just be happy for them,
and be jealous or hate,
and not just want them to be good. If they do something good, if they did something that you wouldn't do, but it's still working for them, like I don't understand why you wouldn't be happy for them. It doesn't take anything away from you to be happy for somebody else. It takes nothing from you. It takes nothing from you to just be like, yo, I'm glad you good. I'm glad you happy.
Just be careful choosing your friends, because like I said, you don't know. But you got some great friends though, bro. Like I just got to get them some love, man. All of them, even Dwight, because Dwight reach out to me every time he's doing something.
Dwight's the man.
He reach out to me. He'd be like,
Dwight is what you call the epitome of family. Like Dwight's thing is family. Like I'm not his friend, I'm his family, and he'll let you know I'll do anything for my family. So that's one thing about Dwight that I love the most, and that's why I said you have to admire certain things about certain people.
That's what I was going to tell her, the Dwight story. But yeah,
Dwight is about family.
He a good dude, man. He a good dude. All right, this has been the Real Family Therapy Podcast. It's DJ Double OG. Are you serious, Dad? Man, I was not trying to go this long. I swear, we started off in the 30-40 minute range, and then already went over an hour. Dad, you're on mute right now, but do you got any dad jokes for us today? Change of diapers while I'm doing a podcast. So when you see me doing that, I'm doing that a little bit.
Let's see. Yeah, I found one joke. Adam and Eve are wandering around the Garden of Eden, and they're just walking around, and they're wondering to themselves, are they black or are they white? So Eve says, well, why don't you go and ask God? So Adam goes into the Garden of Eden and shouts out to God, are we black or white? A big booming voice bellows below, you are what you are. And so Adam immediately goes back to Eve and tells her that they are white. And so Eve says, how do you know? Asked Eve. He said, because God says, you are who you are, Adam replied. Well, why does that mean we are white? Asked Eve. And Adam said, because if we were black, he would have said, you is what you is.
Oh, the racism in that joke.
Man, who you telling?
Hey, but it's true.
I got a lot of these. There's a lot of racist jokes out here. Oh,
yeah.
You is what it is. It's so true and accurate. It's so sad. All right.
Here's another. You want to hear a racist one? Here's one.
Oh, Lord. I don't, but I mean, wait just a second. We don't want to get canceled. We just got the podcast.
Right.
How does a black girl tell her she's pregnant?
Nah, I don't like this one. I'm cool. I don't tap in with the black queens. Nope, I'm out. Only support black women. I walk around supporting black women all day, every day. That's what I do. Nope, I'm not a part of this one. I'm gonna look yonder.
Are you serious that he done with this? All right, hey, are you serious? Do you got any? Oh, he for real left.
Oh no, I'm here, but I'm just you know.
Hey, do you got any facts we can take to work there?
Yeah, since you don't support black women.
You scared of the
Don't ever talk about black women. Don't you ever? Don't you do it. Don't even mess with it. As much as black women have saved our butts from time to time.
Hey, did you see they got Kamala Harris in the White House yet?
Kamala. She don't stay in the White House. She stays in the
no, they don't have. Whatever. No, they don't have her vice presidency home ready
Yeah,
yet.
that's what I'm talking about. Yeah, she's still living out of the suitcase. Yeah.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Because they
All right,
had
but
to
anyway,
redo it from the stench of the Pence. So it's a lot of redoing. That's why they had to do a lot of renovations.
she mad though. She like,
Yeah.
this taking too long.
But I don't got no
It's
fun
taking
facts
too long.
today. I'm cool. Oh,
Ain't no.
wait. Let me think. Nah, I ain't got nothing. Never mind. I
All
won't even
right,
try to
well,
push it.
no problem, man. It's Real Therapy, Family Therapy Podcast. DJ Double OG, dog. You serious about that? Yeah. Any last words, then, fellas? Any last words before we go?
Nope, that's it. I
Nope,
just
I'm
saved
good.
Dad's career.
Support Black women.
I just saved Dad's career.
First of all, you know Dad don't give no. Woo.